and we realized that children who are involved in social interaction through peer buddy approach were able to develop and they were able to interact well compared to their other peers. Also, this study can also be important as a treatment for children with autism, especially those who are lonely, they are solitary all the times. If you pair them with their buddies, then they are able to model their peers and benefit academically, socially, and in all other aspects of life. And also, the parents might also benefit from this study because initially they did not know how to relate, how to help these children because they were always alone, not talking to anybody at home and even at school. So this study can be beneficial to them because they will know how to help their children who are socially, suffering from social interaction skills deficit. And also the government agencies can also benefit from this study. So we adapted the descriptive survey design whereby the study was conducted in public primary schools, and these were schools that were typically attended by children with autism. So they were regular schools, they were included in those schools. So when we went, we introduced that now the pretest where these learners were to be put together with two typically developing peers. They sit together, they work together, and do many things together. So after some time, when we went back for the post-test, we realized that children who were paired were able now to open up, to play with these people, to interact, and they actually developed a chain of friends through that. So we rolled out in around 37 schools, and therefore we had 37 teachers, 10 ed teachers, and that one is the sample size that we used. Okay, the next slide. Sorry. So here, we also went to the EAC offices, that is Educational Assessment Resource Centers, and consulted with the EAC coordinators who gave us the figures of those who were learners that they had assessed, who had autism, and the schools where they were placed. And therefore, we followed them to those schools, and we used the mixed method approach where the quantitative and the qualitative methods were used. We used research instruments like questionnaires, the interview schedules, and also the focus group and observation. So in classroom, we would observe these children. At first, they were solitary. Even when they go to class, they were seated with the bag on their backs. They were not able to release them and put them down. But then, after we observed them after they were now paired with the peer buddies, they were now able to remove the bags from their back, put there, and they were able to interact in the classroom situation. Outside in the field, we also followed them. Because they were now interacting with these buddies, they were able to play, they opened up, they could sing together and do other things, as we will see in the subsequent slides. Okay, so over to results and findings. So this approach, when we looked at peer buddy approaches that children with ASD engaged in, and that in that figure, we realized that when it was time for singing, the interaction was so high. We paired them with the buddies, and they would sing a song, social stories, and all that. And they were really excited. They did not even want to go back to class. They wanted to continue being outside class, singing and playing. And also, when there were things like running and athletics, they also liked because of that. They learned turn-taking, that they could run to one corner and back and all that. So we realized that others like throwing and catching, dancing, kicking balls, playing with bottle tops with friends, rope skipping, telling stories, sweeping the classroom was minimal, building with blocks was minimal, involving in hide and seek. So all these were confirmed that peer buddy approaches are actually important for learners with autism. The next result here, we looked at the peer buddy approach and social interaction of children with autism. And when you look at when the peer buddy approach is ineffective, this was now, we were asking the teachers whether this method was an effective method for children with autism to help those with social interaction. Actually, teachers confirmed, they strongly agreed that it was actually very important. They also said they noticed the increase in social interaction in the children. They also, at 59, they were able to see the peer buddy approach as it was able to enhance a lot of social interaction. And therefore, they recommended it that it could be used as a teaching strategy in their classes. The next, again, we conducted interview. We interviewed several people. We interviewed the parents about this particular approach once it was implemented in the schools, and was there any change that they were able to observe in their children. And then the parent one said that an interview with the head teacher is that the attitude of the parents of typically developing peers, when their children play with children with ASD, they had to say that once the teachers accepted their children, the peers will adjust and accept them. So it was all to do with the teachers. What about the teachers? Have they accepted these children? If the teachers have accepted and are included in their classes, then these other children will definitely accept them. Another teacher said that when these children are put together, they were able to play with a communication board. They used the songs, the poems, storytelling. They also used communication boards during communication, during the lesson, especially for the nonverbal learners with autism. And that also helped them to improve their social skills. So teachers also use things like role play, the gestures, use of language tree, and also they would involve learners in the nature walk, which learners with autism really enjoyed. And all this, on the interview, they also concurred that peer buddy approach is actually a helpful strategy. We also used the chi-square test to test on the peer buddy approach and enhance social interaction of children with ASD. And if you can look, the Pearson's chi-square, the value at 80 point that, and the difference was 48, and it is 0.01. And that means that on this conducted, it revealed that peer buddy approach was actually very important, especially for learners with autism who lack social interaction skills. And on conclusion, the study concluded that peer buddy approach led to a decrease in solitary behavior of children with ASD as they enjoyed having their peer buddies, leading to enhanced social interaction. So from the pre-test to post-test, a lot of improvement had occurred. Those who used to sit alone at a corner, they were now able to sit with their friends together. Also, it also concluded that it increased social interaction of children with ASD and even the typically developing peers. We may think that the typically developing peers are competent socially, but some of them also suffer from social interaction skills deficit. So this study revealed that when a learner with autism with the social interaction skills deficit is paired with these other learners, typically developing learners, they were able to also improve the social interaction skills for learners who are typically developing. And also, it concluded that peer buddy approach is an effective strategy for improving social interaction skills. And also, the levels, it depends. It also improves social interaction of the typically developing peers further. And that was our finding. Any question? Yes, please. Yes, take the mic.
I just want to know, on the first slide, yes, on the first slide that you had, was it activities that the children chose and like the frequency that they chose them? Okay, and was it the frequency that they show them over how long? Like,
Okay, so
what was the duration or?
okay. So this study was conducted for a duration of 3 months. We went first month, we did the pre-test, we instructed the teachers on what they were supposed to do, and then later, now we went now for data collection to find out whether those activities were being used as we had instructed the teachers. So it was like a period of 3 months. Thank you. Any other question? Yes, my student would want to ask me a question.
So my question is, like, when the study was being done, what were the strategies you used to avoid like emotional mismatch? So like, were there shared interest among the students, or how was it chosen when you are pairing the students?
As I said, we started from the EAC office, that is Educational Assessment and Resource Center, and they have all the statistics of learners they have assessed, and they were able to help us know where children with social interaction skills deficit were, in which schools, and we went specifically to those schools, and that is where we started the study. Any other question? Question time. Okay, thank you so much. I think. Oh, there's a question. Yeah, or a comment, whatever.
Thank you so much for that presentation. I would wish that maybe if you go to those schools, yeah, you find these children are at various levels. Autism is not, maybe another child is down, another one. So that when you say they have improved, you say they were here, they have improved to this level. So that there is some comparative study to show now this child was here, and after this peer buddying, now they have improved to this level. So because I believe that is what you should have been looking for. Okay.
Thank you. We did that. You remember I talked of those who are nonverbal and those who are verbal, and they were having social interaction skills deficit. So we introduced several aspects, like the communication boards, so the picture AC, AAC, and the rest. So we realized even those who are just alone and they were nonverbal, they were not able to talk. Now we introduced the communication board. We brought the typically developing peers, and we told them, could you be talking to Johnny? If it is time to go to the toilet, can you produce the picture? They will point to you, and you will know that now it is time to go to the toilet. And the teachers confirmed that even those who used to soil themselves in class because they could not talk, I want to go to the toilet, with the use of communication board and all that picture exchange communication program, they were now able to tell, I want to go to the toilet, I want to eat, I want this, with those communication boards. Yeah, thank you. I think we are done. Oh. There's still a question this side.
Yes, thank you for that nice presentation. I have a concern about what you might have done or not done we know very well peer learning is a powerful tool that exists to assist learners. Now, as much as you emphasize peer buddy interaction learning, how were you able to vet or to sieve out in order to prevent learning antisocial behavior from other peers? Because if you don't control, then they just learn everything. Yes, so what mechanism did you use to prevent antisocial behaviors?
Okay, so how did we sieve out the antisocial behaviors that they could learn from their peers? Actually, this method was mainly used in class and during play outside, and now back at home. So there was close supervision of the teachers, and at home, close supervision of the parents. So that helped us to avoid any other kind of learning that could be antisocial. Thank you. Okay, I think we are done. Thank you so much.
Egerton University houses the following faculties: Agriculture, Arts and Social Science, Commerce, Education and Community Studies, Engineering and Technology, Environment and Resource Development, Health Sciences, Science, Faculty of Law, Faculty of Veterinary Medicine and Surgery, Institute of Women, Gender and Development Studies, College of Open and Distance Learning. Now, under the Faculty of Agriculture, there are the following diplomas: the following are the degree programs: